Ahoy! Today I want to show you one of my favorite features of the new PTR, and that's the new arena map. I have been grinding the PTR, I've tested everything now, and this one is just so beautiful. It just looks so nice. So beforehand, I'm gonna show you a few different fights here, but keep in mind, I'm on massive ping. A lot of abilities I'm gonna be using are not gonna be hitting. A lot of inputs are gonna be delayed, weapon swaps are not gonna be working. So disregard that, just focus on how nice the arena itself is and how the layout is and everything. Everything else is just gonna be messy. I tried with the circumstances. You can see here that in the beginning especially it seems to freeze up for me completely. But then here you get into it. We have this nice little ring here up top where the first clash usually happens. You can technically also sneak around, but if the other team goes up with all three, you want to have your guys there. And if you're lucky, you can get a kill up here. That's just a very close fight. This is typically more ideal for melees because ranged have to get pretty close and there's not that much cover here. But there are ways to get away. You can obviously jump down and you can also jump over to the sides. We're going to go for a more direct in-the-middle fight here first, but you can see one guy just jumping off here. And then you have quite a few obstacles that you can work around. He's kind of weaving around because of the lag. I'm just getting torn around constantly, so it's very hard for me to hit him. But this is something that this arena is very much laid out to do. That no matter where you go, there's always something you can corner. If you go up there, where I just went for a little bit, there's also corners everywhere. Even if you go back in here, you have these big pillars that you can kite people around. So there's just a lot of obstacles in general, which is very, very different from the previous arena. I also very much like the design. It just looks super, super nice. It's bright. I like sunny things. I don't like dark places, so that works for me. It has sand. That's nice. It's only missing a beach, basically. But yeah. I really like this. I really like the fountain center in the middle. It's really cool to fight around this as well. It just feels very satisfying. Obviously, you know, not completely open space. You can't just jump at someone. That's why they have that obstacle in the middle. But you can tell that whoever made this map really put some thought into it and has played a fair bit of arena and knows the downsides of the current arena. So, yeah, I think it's just all around fantastic. By the way, notice also with the attacks I'm using Greatsword, and you can see that the attacks are very, very sluggish in comparison because of the ping. It just delays every attack basically and makes it look slower. But look at the speed of Whirling Blade, because Whirling Blade got significantly buffed in that regard, and it's actually so fast now that even on this high ping, it looks super fast. So I'm very curious how fast it's going to be on normal ping, because it's already this fast like this. Like, see how slow that is, relatively speaking. Well, everything here in terms of inputs. By the way, like I said, you can go down. Sometimes you get a 1v1 down here. Something like this happen where everyone misses everything. Sometimes those 1v1s turn into 2v1s if somebody else falls down as well or decides to drop down and picks on you like that. And then suddenly the fight can turn very quickly. I thought I was safe here considering there were two up top, but I actually wasn't that safe because they both just decided to go down on me. But that's okay. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And then you have this cool cage that you end up in if you die, which I really like as well. It's a really interesting place to spectate from, very, very Gladiator arena-esque. And you can see the arena a little bit afterwards here as well. You can see the new rewards here, the arena spoils. We'll look at those at the end as well. And then you can do the see-through mode here. And if you check that, you can see a little bit more of the arena and some of the corners that we haven't seen yet. For that, we're going to look at another fight, which didn't go so well, but we can see how the other sides of the arena work in general. Again, I'm going to keep in a little bit of the sightseeing here because I want to show you these cool statues and stuff as well. I just really like anything in terms of Brimstone design, anything in terms of the Roman looks. It's just really, really pleasant to the eye for me. And I like the red and gold theme that they have as well. So why not, you know? I wish you could fully decorate your house like that. There is some stuff in here. If you look to the right, there's actually some stuff that is actually furniture for your house. But I'm pretty sure you can't get all of it. Would be very, very nice. You can see, like, this time the team comp is very different, so they're kind of sitting back. It's a mage and a healer, which makes playing up here very different for me. It's the only melee DPS like deep in there. Pretty dangerous. Kind of got out, but so you have to really adapt your playstyle depending on what team comp you have when it comes to how you fight up here, like on this angle. For example, the ice pylon that the mage put at the start probably didn't do anything because it was just too far down, so it wouldn't target up the incline and wouldn't really have much of an impact. And then, like I said, you can actually fight in here. You can get stuck in the corner here. That is probably a bit dangerous if you actually get stuck in there, but yeah, there are options to to take the fight elsewhere on the arena. And I like that. I think that's pretty cool. That you can use a pretty large area. Like in itself, the arena technically is pretty large. Even though it is so cornered that you don't really notice it. Then here you can see you can kind of get over here. Unfortunately, the leaping strike there, I thought that would connect very easily, but it might have just been ping, like every other attack that's not connecting. But yeah, I like that part. I don't like the steps that much, because that is just a general problem that on steps, combat can be somewhat annoying, because a lot of hit detection, especially for melee attacks, doesn't work very well when you are standing on the steps. You can see the other ones are trying to chase over the same ledges there as well. Yeah, the guy probably had a bit more experience with this map already. He was grinding it a little bit more, and we can kind of see like how this can play out in terms of how you can use the height to your advantage too, because now both of them basically have to run around for ages to get over to him. But what they probably should have done is just not ran out in the open, but use the middle pillar, the middle building. And you can also see the, well, it is technically the ring of fire, but it looks more like a ring of acid here, really. That's closing in. I thought that looked cool as well. I thought it was cool that it was somewhat different from the other arena ring, I think, in terms of effects. So, yeah, very, very visually nice once again. Very epic effect, at least from out here. So, another nice little feature of the arena itself. This fight actually goes on forever. Funny enough, I saw the gear from the other guy later. He's literally rolled enough characters on PTR until he got a best in slot fire staff. So, they're struggling with that, understandably. Whereas most people are hardly running resilient. And, it hurt. But generally, I just want to say, like, I'm very happy with the change they've done to the arena here. I'm honestly glad they're retiring the other map for this and not running both at the same time, because I think this map is just so much nicer already in every regard. Even though there are a few things that I would like to improve. So yeah, this is ping for you, by the way. Decided to like place me down and then place me up again. Like who knows where I really was, but yeah. I kind of got out there though, and you can see like I kind of sit under the roof a little bit there, so I can avoid any incoming damage from the mages. But then again, the problem here, the stairs. Like none of my attacks are connecting on the stairs. So yeah, I really think that is something that they might have to change in some way. I think if that's ramps, it usually works a bit better for some reason, but I'm not quite sure. Like I don't know how they could fully solve this when at the end of the day people need to go up and down somehow. There's also like some awkward clipping here on the edges. I don't really know what's going on here. You can see him like sliding back and forth. I don't know if it was just something on my end or if that's something that happens in general. Again, hard to tell given the conditions, but it was definitely a bit annoying that it made it kind of difficult to actually hit him. You can also see here a little bit Whirling Blade actually connecting much better, as long as the ground is flat, which I, once again, really, really like. Very, very happy with the Sword and Shield changes. I'll probably talk about that separately, but I just want to point it out here because I am running Sword and Shield specifically because of these changes, because I just feel like you can do a lot more with it now. And you can do pretty quick, pretty decent damage. So that's pretty nice as well. Once again, they're choosing to go into a spawn point. Still very funny to me that you could just sit in there. I thought that was going to be like walled off the same way as at the start, but you can really just go anywhere. Very nice scenery for a fight. Though I have to probably, like, I don't know if this is a general thing or it's just me, but I felt like the frame rate was worse inside because I had this issue whenever I went to the edge of the door, my frame rate got worse, and I think that is a particular issue that has something to do with like step between the inside and this outside arena. So again, maybe just on my end, but I hope it's something that doesn't affect other players on better latency as well. I hope that they can do something of a similar scale for Outpost Rush. I think the Outpost Rush map is also one that feels very basic, very start of the game type thing when it was still brand new. And yeah, not much to do. That was annoying. I was trying to leaping strike forward and somehow it took me off the edge. But I think this is a map that feels more appropriate for the level that the game is on now, the same way that Brimstone feels more on that new level, whereas the Outpost Rush map feels more like Old Weaver's Fen or something. I don't know. But yeah, I hope they can do something good with it. I hope they can somehow improve it in the same way Fortress Rush, and hopefully sooner rather than later, but we'll see about that. But in terms of the map design and everything, I like it a lot. By the way, right before I despawned, I also got this funny little clip at the end. You can see this confetti coming out of the fountain there. That's pretty cool. You can go there after the fight is over. Now let's look at the rewards. So this is Arena Warrior Spoils. I got the Remnant from before, one of the weapons. And then I got the Vow of Vengeance. So 2 named weapons here. I don't know if the chance for named weapons is higher or it's just got lucky/unlucky. I haven't seen any normal gear yet, but it always seems to be one piece either way. If you're interested in more info about the New World PTR and what's happening there, I have plenty of stuff to talk about. Some super secret stuff as well. You know what to do. Change this number a little bit and you can get that information when it comes out. Also, if you're interested in early trading tips, then feel free to support me on Patreon. Thanks to all my patrons who already do exactly that, and thank you for watching. Duke Sloth, out.